to The Blotto Show. My name is Chris. I'm your host, and you are listening to this week's episode of Storytime Friday.
This week's story is called Under Mysterious Circumstances. It had been over a year since Ruth and Simon had the experience back there in the forest. Ruth still had nightmares about it. Every time she closed her eyes, even after it had been a while, a week or two of feeling perfectly normal, having perfectly normal dreams, all of a sudden out of the blue, she was having nightmares and reliving things that she went through. She'd wake up screaming in the middle of the night with her mom running in. Honey, are you okay? What's going on? Oh my God, honey, Ruth, wake up! Okay, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry. Did you have another nightmare again? Her mom said. Yeah. Honey, her mom said. What happened on that? What happened when you and your Simon and what was your other friend's name? Oh, I don't know. Ruth said. I was like, what? Just was a friend of Simon's. Like I hung out with him a little bit, but I don't know him personally, so I don't remember. She said, taking a few more deep breaths. Her mom put her hand on her shoulder. Honey, I think you might need to see somebody. Maybe go talk to somebody. Ruth glanced up at her. No, Mom, I'm fine. Let's just forget about it. It's fine. Her mom sighed. Ruth, it's kind of hard to forget about it when it seems like sometimes every couple of days. Sometimes you go like a week and a half or 2 weeks, but then you're waking up in the middle of the night screaming again. You know, like I really worry about you, sweetheart. Mom, I'm fine. Okay, all right. Can we please just let it go? Her mom sighed. Okay, fine. You know, but I just try to get some sleep, okay? I love you, sweetie. I love you too, Mom. Good night. I'm gonna try to go back to bed. All right, sweetie. I'll be, you know where I am. I'm just right down the hall if you need me. Okay, thanks, Mom. Ruth tried to go back to sleep. As she closed her eyes, she found herself back in that forest again, wandering around in the darkness. At least this time, though, she could almost remember that this was in fact a dream and that wasn't real. Most of the time when she ended up in the forest in her sleep, she would wake up in the forest and not have any clue that this wasn't real. But right now, thankfully, as she's standing in the woods, she vaguely remembered the conversation that she had just had with her mom. Man, come on, Ruth, wake up. She looks around, glances around in the darkness, telling herself, this isn't real. I'm not really here. Come on, you're not really here. Come on. Tried to slap herself awake. Ow, man. Okay, kind of hurt. I thought that would wake me up. Ow. She rubbed the side of her face. Okay, come on. What are you doing here? Holy shit! Hid behind a tree. Oh my God, I fucking hate this place. Oh, come on, Ruth, wake up. Wake up! Slapped herself again. All of a sudden, she sat up in bed. She started to scream, ah! But she covered her mouth really quick. After waiting a few seconds and looking towards the bedroom door, praying and hoping that her mom hadn't heard her again, after a few seconds, she figured the coast was clear. She didn't see any sign of her mom coming back in the door. So she uncovered her mouth and took a few more deep breaths. She got out of bed and went over and sat at her desk. Grabbed her journal and her pen and started write a journal entry. Maybe if I just write a little bit. Yeah, maybe if I just get some of this out, maybe I could go back to sleep. I gotta sleep. I'm so tired, but But then she cringed, shivered as she thought to herself, "But I'm so terrified. If I go to sleep, I'm gonna end up back in there again. It seems like every time I close my eyes, I go back to the damn forest." Started sobbing to herself. Again, the bedroom door peeked open. "Honey, are you okay?" "Yes, Mom. Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine." "Are you crying?" No, I'm fine, Mom. I'm just tired. But I thought I would just write my journal for a few minutes, and maybe that'll help. "Okay, well, try to get some sleep." "Thank you, Mom. I love you." "Love you too, honey," she said as she closed the door. After writing a little bit in her journal, she felt like she had only written a little bit. She happened to, after she signed off, she went and counted the pages. She said, "Holy shit, I fucking wrote 6 pages. Man, I must really." She says, "Maybe Mom's right. Maybe I do need to talk to somebody. I don't even know why this is bothering me anymore because I made it out. So what the hell?" She pulls out her phone. Ring, 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 ring. "Hey, Ruth, what's going on? It's freaking 3 o'clock in the morning." "Hey, Simon. Um, can we? Yep. I needed to talk. I needed to talk to you. I needed to talk to somebody." I'm just like, I could hear Simon like, kind of sigh on the other end, like, "Everything okay? What's going on?" "Well, you remember that forest, the issue we had, the forest deal about a year and a half ago, when I got lost in there somehow." And Simon was like, "Yeah, of course, yeah, like, what about it?" Ruth is like, "Well, like, I have nightmares about it all the time." Simon was like, "What? Like, what? Are you okay? Like, like, I thought all this time, like, you didn't say anything, so I didn't think it. I thought everything was fine." Ruth is like, "Yeah, it's just I was almost embarrassed because, like, I don't understand why I'm having nightmares about it, because we got it, I made it out. Like, I found you guys. We all hung out in the front room, so that we would all be near each other, and then we got out of there the next morning. But for whatever reason, like, I'm reliving that, that night in my head. Like, I keep ending up back there in my dream, and it's as real as it was when I was there. It just freaks me the hell out." "Oh man, I'm so sorry," Simon said. "Oh man, like, I just want to hug you right now. Man, Ruth, like, just talk to me. Like, I can't. I wish I could be there and, like, hug you and stuff, because but obviously it's 3 in the morning, and it's like, obviously I don't think either of our parents would really appreciate us, like, either one of us going to the other house. At this, they'd be like, 'What the hell are you doing?'" Ruth kind of chuckled a bit. "Yeah, my mom definitely would not be okay with that. So that's why, it's why, but that's why I thought I'd call you, because I just needed to talk to somebody, because, like, tonight's been rough." "What's going on?" Simon said. "Well, I've actually ended up there more than once. Like, I woke up screaming about an hour and a half ago, because of course I ended up in the forest, and then, my mom, apparently I woke my mom up." Oh man, how'd that go?" Simon said. "It didn't go very well. My mom really wanted me to. She talked about, she really wants me to talk to somebody." And Simon's like, "You mean like a therapist?" Bruce's like, "Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know how my dad was a therapist before he passed or whatever, but you know, she's all about therapy. She's a big fan." Simon was like, "And and I know you're not as much." And Bruce like, "Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm not against it. It's just, I really don't want to talk to anybody about it. I mean, except for you, of course, but, like, I don't want to mean, I hard to explain. Simon was like, Ruth, it's fine. It's okay. Just tell me what's going on. Like, well, Ruth said, I'm afraid of basically being looked at like I'm crazy because of, what happened and me dreaming about it and stuff. And it's like, Simon was like, well, like, I don't think they look at you like crazy because they're therapists. Like, there's that, they're used to hearing some very odd stories. They never judge their patients. I know, Ruth said. It's just, I just really, I just don't want to. I really just don't want to do it, because I don't feel comfortable with it. I don't really want to talk about it. I'm trying to just basically like force it all down and just try to forget it and stuff. Simon's like, well, how's that working out for you though? Bruce is like, like, I would punch you in the shoulder right now. I'm sorry, Simon said it. My point is, Simon, my point is, Simon, I don't think that I just don't feel comfortable with the idea of laying on a couch and talking to somebody about this stuff, because it felt nuts when I was there in the forest, and now I'm dreaming about it. It still feels like something out of like a wacky horror film or whatever. It's like, I just don't. Simon's like, I got you. All right, So like, what happened tonight? Like, you woke up screaming, and your mom was trying to talk you into like seeing a therapist or whatever. Yeah, Ruth said. I told her I really didn't want to. That's fine. I'm fine. Basically just reassured her I'm fine. Simon was like, even though you're not fine. Ruth's like, shut up. Okay, fine. Sorry. Simon said again. Simon was like, I'm just pointing out, obviously, like, it's the truth. You're like, hun, you're not fine. You don't seem like you're okay, because like, I didn't even know that you were, dealing with this, by yourself. And I feel horrible, because why didn't you tell me sooner? Ruth is like, same reason that I don't want to talk to a therapist, because I didn't, I've always been strong-willed, and I really don't like anybody to think lower of me. I don't want them to think that I can't handle something. So, you know what I mean, right, Simon? Yeah, I gotcha. And trust me, like, nobody would think anything less of you because of you asking for help. Like, there's nothing wrong with asking for help, Ruth. But if you don't want to talk to your therapist, I'm very grateful that you're at least talking to me about it, because we're really good friends. We've known each other for a while, and I'm always here for you. So please don't shut me out. Just talk to me. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what can I do to help? Can I do anything to help? Well, Ruth said, just do what you're doing right now. Just be there. And yeah, obviously whenever we hang out or whatever, yeah, a hug would be greatly appreciated. Would definitely help a lot, because it just you could say I kind of man, I don't even know how to explain it really. Explain what? Let's go. Like, tell me. Well, Ruth said, I feel alone. Like, I know I'm not. I know, before you say something, Simon, I know I'm not alone. I know. Simon was like, I was gonna say it. Yeah, Bruce said, like, I'm just, I know that I'm not alone. I'm just pointing that out, but but it's just how I feel, and it's hard to. It's kind of the easiest way I can explain it is because, I'm having these. I'm basically ending up back there in my dreams, and like I'm literally alone. Like, this time, I don't have you guys there. Hey, what was your? I don't remember. What was your friend that was hanging out there with us? Simon was like, oh, that was my friend Tom. But yeah, we don't really hang out much, and too we don't hang out too much recently. It's been a while, like, but he still texts me every so often, check in, but anyway, that doesn't matter. That doesn't really matter. Like, so tell me, like, why do you feel like you're alone? Well, Bruce said, mainly because like I'm waking up in the forest, I'm reliving what I did before. Only this time, nobody else is there. It's literally I'm alone in the forest. There's no hope for getting out of there, because last time at least I was able to find my way to you guys, and we were able to get inside the cabin and be safe. But now I wake up in the forest and it's pitch black. All I can see is the shadows of the outlines of trees around me in the darkness. And I almost forgot. And Simon's like, "What? Forgot what? Do you remember that that kind of a growl, that kind of a like sinister voice that we heard? The off of the trees before. Simon's like, "Holy shit, man! Yeah, now I remember. Like, I remember. I thought you were completely like, I thought you were fucking around with us, but then we heard that. Oh man, like, don't tell me. Are you hearing that?" Riverside. Yeah, it's like literally I'm in the forest and I'm looking around in the darkness, thinking to myself, like, 'cause most of the time majority of the time when I wake up in there, I feel like I'm back there. Like, I don't remember leaving the forest. I don't remember the last year and a half of actually being safe here. I wake up in there. It's almost like it's the day that it happened. But then, of course, like, I end up hearing that voice, and it says different things each time. Sometimes it's more of a growl. And sometimes it's it actually speaks something somewhat clear to where I can actually understand what it says, but it scares the freaking hell out of me every time. But two weird things happen though. Like tonight when I ended up there. What happened? Simon said. Well, it's like after I woke up screaming the first time, I fell back asleep, and I woke up there again, which, really, really, when I woke up, literally the weird thing about, or one of the weird things, when I woke up back in there a second time was, I actually remembered, there's a part of me that remembered having that conversation with my mom, just minutes prior. Like, I mean, it felt like minutes prior, but I was actually asleep for an hour. But I remembered having that conversation with my mom not too long ago, and so immediately somehow my mind realized that I was dreaming, that this wasn't real. Oh man, Simon said. What'd you do? Well, Bruce said, I started telling myself, like, you need to wake up. Like, come on, Bruce, you need to wake up. I even started slapping myself. And holy crap, I didn't think you could hurt yourself in a dream, but when I slapped myself in the dream, it hurt. I didn't actually, like, wake up with actual handprints on my face, but in the dream, I felt it. Like, it felt real. Like, everything in that, every time I wake up in there, even when I realized that it was a dream, everything still felt real. Like, I felt the pain from me slapping myself in the face. I felt the heart-wrenching fear that I felt when I would hear the voices off to off in the distance. Ah, man, Oh, so what you said there were two things that were weird? Simon said. Oh yeah, Bruce said. The second thing is, like, when I woke up in there, when I realized that this time I was actually aware that I was dreaming, I was looking around in the darkness, and the voice said something that it hadn't before in any of the dreams. At least not that I remember. Like, usually it would just usually growl at me and be like, like, you got to get out of here. Like, you're not going to be allowed to leave. The same stuff that these voices were saying when I was there before. Oh man, I remember that. I remember you telling us that. Simon said, like, Sam, I'm getting shivers just remembering when we were talking to you, like a year and a half ago, and we were actually at that cabin or whatever. So what did the voice say this time? Bruce sighed for a second. Well, I mean, it actually said, like, why'd you come back here? And I don't think it's ever said that to me before in any of those dreams. So it's like, so that made me that just made me really threw me for a loop, because it made me feel like, okay, what do you mean, why did I come here? This is a dream. Like, I'm not really here. This isn't real. But like I said, everything kind of it feels real in any of those dreams. I don't get it, She sighed. Simon was like, it's, Ruth, I mean, I wish I knew what I could do to help you, help make you feel better. And I wish I could go in your place so that way I could protect you that way. Ruth cringed. No, I would not want you in there, because it's not fun being in there. And I mean, I'm just, just reliving, just telling you about it. I'm kind of giving myself goosebumps just sitting here. I got, just to call you, I got out of bed and got to my desk, because I thought, well, let me try to see if I can, occupy my mind a little bit to try to see if maybe when I go back to sleep, in a little while, hopefully I can, maybe dream of something else and not go back to that forest again. What'd you do? Simon said. I wrote in my journal, You know what's funny about that? Normally when I write, I only write like a page, like half a page or whatever. I'm not usually a big on writing, but tonight, I didn't realize I had written so much until I actually got done, and I looked and I had written 6 pages. Wow, Simon said. Well, all right. Well, hell, holy crap, he says. Bruce's like, what? I just looked at the time. We've been on the phone for an hour. What? Oh wow, I didn't realize that. Bruce said. I guess I better try to get back to sleep. Bruce said. Are you sure? Simon said. I don't I worry about you. I don't want you to end up there again. Well, what else can I do? Bruce said. It's not like I could just go without sleep. I'd have to go back to sleep and hopefully just hope and pray that I'm not gonna end up back there again. And yeah, I know, you're right, Simon said. But why don't we meet up, tomorrow for lunch? What, are you free? Bruce like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's meet up at that one Italian place that we love to eat at and stuff. Oh yeah, sounds great, Simon said. So I'll meet you there, 1? Yeah, sounds good. I better get to bed because otherwise I will sleep right past it. All right, Simon said. Just sleep well, and just I'm here if you need me. Just call me, and I'll sit up and talk to you, of course. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Simon. Thank you. So I'll see you at 1 o'clock. Good night. Good night, Ruth. Click. Disconnected the call. Ruth tried to lay back down in bed, and as she closed her eyes, even though she was finding it hard to fall asleep, in her mind she was still seeing. It's almost as if, even though she was still technically awake, in her mind she could still vision everything she saw in her dream, all the shapes of the trees, all them swaying in the darkness, and it being so dark that you almost can't see anything, but yet you still can kind of make out the shapes in the darkness. She got goosebumps thinking about it, and tried to open her eyes and tried to blink away the thoughts again. Okay, come on. I need to think of something. I need to think of happy thoughts or something, maybe. She got out of bed, knocked on her mom's door. Honey, come in. Hey, Mom, sorry to wake you. No, it's fine, her mom said. What's up? Do we have anything, like, anything that might help me sleep? That might make it where I can, hopefully not dream too much? Because, having more nightmares, honey? Yeah, a little bit. I've woken up and gone back to sleep, and I just end up back in that same nightmare. And I just, I don't know if it's because I just need something to help me relax. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, of course. Let me go make you. I have this special tea in the cabinet I can make for you. Hold on a second. Thank you, Mom. After drinking her tea, and her mom and Ruth both going back to bed, Ruth managed to sleep the rest of the night, and to her surprise, she didn't dream of anything. At least nothing that she can remember. She woke up the next day at 11:30 in the morning, looked around her room and stretched and yawned and thought, wow, okay, I actually feel halfway decent. I don't remember dreaming anything else after I went to bed. Oh man, what's in that tea Mom gave me, man? So as she pulled into the parking lot of the Italian restaurant, she saw Simon's car and pulled over and parked next to him. Hey, welcome to A Taste of Italy, but on Highway 109. Party one? No sir, Ruth said. I'm actually meeting somebody. A guy named Simon. Looks like kind of about 5'5", gray hair, or short brown hair. Kind of has a little bit of a goatee going on. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, Mr. Actually, he didn't give me his last name. He just said Simon. So, but yeah, I think he's over here at table 11 over here on in this section here. The host said as it kind of guided Ruth over towards where Simon's table was. Hey, Ruth, you made it, Simon said. Hey, Simon. Simon went to go sit back down, and Ruth's like, remember, I need a hug. Oh, right, I'm sorry, Simon said, as he got up, came over to Ruth and wrapped her in a really tight hug. Oh, it feels amazing. Thank you, Ruth said, hugging him back. No worries, you're one of, if not the, my only best friend. So, obviously, I got your back, and I'm all for hugs myself too. So, all you have to do is ask, or even, Ruth kind of nudged him. So I have to ask? Simon's like, of course not. I didn't mean you have to ask. You can just come over and wrap your arms around me and give me a hug. Ruth is like, I was gonna say, all right, shall we sit? Order? Yeah, let's go. Okay. As I sat down, Ruth looked over at him. So, do they have any, what do they have, for drinks here? I don't, obviously, we both, thankfully, we're both over 21, so let's, do they have, wine here or something? And Simon was like, yeah, they do. Just over here on this side of the menu, he said, pointing at it. Cool, all right. Hey, y'all, welcome to the Taste of Italy on Route 109. I'll be your server tonight. What can I get for you? Can I get any drinks for you tonight? Bruce was like, yeah, I'd like to have this, I'd like to have a glass of red wine and a glass of water, please. I'll have the same, Simon said. Oh, cool, all right. So red wine and water for both of you, and any appetizers tonight? No, just probably some breadsticks. What do you think, Ruth? Do you want anything else? Or no, breadsticks are fine, Ruth said. All right, cool. Breadsticks, red wine, and water coming right up. I'll be right back with that. Thank you, ma'am, Simon said. So, Simon said, looking over at Ruth. So, how'd you sleep? When you went back to sleep, did you sleep okay? Ruth looked over at him. Yeah, I did. Surprisingly, I tried to go back to bed, and for a while I was laying there, even though I was awake. I had my eyes closed. I couldn't get the image of the forest, you know, the pitch blackness and the sound of that voice or whatever out of my head. So I hate it, but I actually woke my mom up. What for? Simon said. Well, I know she sometimes has trouble sleeping, Bruce said, but she has a couple of remedies that she uses to help her. And so I asked her if there's anything that she could do to help, and she made a special tea that she makes. And I don't know what's in it, but I went to bed, and that next thing I know, it's 11:30 in the morning, and I don't remember dreaming at all. I woke up and felt somewhat rested, and kind of surprised me actually. Wow, Simon said. That that sounds really good. I'm really glad that you were able to get some sleep, because I kind of worried when you said you were in the forest and then you went back to sleep, ended up in the forest again, and it's like I kind of felt helpless for you being on the other end of the phone. I really wanted to do I really wanted to help, but I didn't know what to do. Yeah, I know, Bruce said. It's the thought that counts, and I know that you would do something if there was something you could do, but thankfully, the hug helped, she said, kind of laughing a little bit. Well, I'm glad, Simon said. Like, anytime, you know how it is. Hugs anytime. Here, always here. Anything you need. Yeah, I know, and I really appreciate it. All right, so here is your red wine and your waters, and here's your breadsticks. Are we ready to order? Simon said, looking at the menu. Crap, I totally forgot I didn't even look. We're just talking. I can come back. The waitress said, No. I will do the grand tour. I think that comes with lasagna, spaghetti, and chicken parm, right? That's correct. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do that. And lots of make sure to have lots of cheese, because I love my mozzarella. I love my Parmesan on top. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we bring a little grinder, little cheese grinder out here, and basically you just tell us when to stop, and Oh, really? Simon said. Oh, that's I'm just kind of curious. How has anybody ever had you stand there and grind the cheese and not told you to stop for a while? The waitress kind of laughed. Yeah, it's happened a couple times where we end up with a huge pile of cheese on the plate, but we're told do not stop until they tell you to stop. So really hope you're not going to have me do that. But if Simon laughed. No. I was just kind of curious, because I remember seeing a Facebook reel where basically that's what somebody did. They said, I didn't tell you to stop, but they just they had like a 6-inch pile of cheese on top of their spaghetti and or their lasagna or whatever it was. The waitress kind of laughed. Yeah, it doesn't happen too often, but occasionally we do get somebody in here that thinks it's kind of funny to do it. But we do it. All right, man. What can I get for you? Bruce said, looking at the menu. Let me see. Let me get the fettuccine Alfredo. Actually, let me get the chicken Alfredo. Cool. All right, sounds good. All right, so chicken Alfredo for you, and the grand tour for you. And any other appetizers? Are we good with breadsticks? No, we're good with breadsticks. That's fine. Simon said. All right, cool. I will be right back with those. So she took the menus and walked off. All right, Bruce said. So what about you? How did you sleep? Because I'm sorry I woke you up in the middle of the night. No, it's fine. Simon said. I was I was in a deep sleep when you called, and then I managed to get back to sleep after we got off the phone, and I didn't really feel like it actually affected me, so it was fine. It was no bother. You didn't negatively affect me by waking me up. It's all good. I'd rather you wake me up, and that way I know that you had somebody there for you versus like you just don't say anything and then I don't know. So please don't do that anymore. Okay, Ruth said. All right, I'll try. I'll try not to keep things to myself as far as these nightmares go, and as long as you agree for the to provide the hugs, whenever needed. Deal, Simon said. So what do you think's going on? Like, why do you think you're so so many questions? Simon said. It's okay, Bruce said. Go ahead and ask away. Obviously. So you've been having these nightmares the whole time since we've been back? Simon said. Yeah, pretty much. Well, Simon looked away and sighed for a minute. Well, like every day, or how's? No, Bruce said. It's like I'll go like a week or so. I'll be fine, and then all of a sudden I'll have nightmares for like a week straight, like every night. And every night when you have these nightmares, Simon said, you're literally back in the forest and everything's basically what it was before. Yeah, pretty much, Bruce said. It's just, I just, man, I just have a feeling, it's like, why would, because something kind of bothers me. Like, there's just something you need to know, Simon. What's that? Well, it's kind of got, like, I kind of got used to it, for a while, like, going a week or two, and then I'd have, like, 4 or 5 days of waking up in the forest again, and hearing the voices, and, basically feeling like I was going to die again. But it's gotten worse. Well, what do you mean? Simon said. Well, now it's like, I swear, it's almost like every day, it's like every other day. It's definitely a lot more often, and I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why. Like, I just can't, no matter what I do, I can't seem to stop having these nightmares, and I don't know what to do about it. All right, Simon said. This, we'll figure it out. Like, how? Bruce said. I don't know, Simon said. But it's like, obviously something's going on, and maybe you do need to talk to a therapist. Bruce said. I really don't want to, like, I don't know how they'll help me, except tell me, like, well, just prescribe me some medication or something, and what's that gonna do? It's just gonna numb me out, maybe make me not dream at all. Well, wouldn't that actually be better than having nightmares all the time? Or Simon said. I mean, yeah, I guess technically, but I don't feel like it would be getting to the root of the problem. Like, Simon reached across the table, put his hand on her hand. Well, Ruth, like, we don't even know what the problem is. That's then that right there is a big problem. Yeah, I know, Ruth said. I just don't know what to do. All right, well, I wonder, like, could there be something else going on that's maybe, hasn't been anything else to your dreams that, like anything that stands out, anything that, just, I don't know. I'm trying to think how to ask. I don't even know the right word, like how to ask this, whatever. Well, I'm kind of confused myself, or I don't know what you're trying to ask either. Simon said, this aside. Well, has anything stood out, or like, is there anything different, or like anything that would lead you, kind of like a clue that would make you make you think, like, about, like, maybe there's a solution, or maybe there's something different, or maybe there's something else. It's kind of like a clue of some kind. Well, no, not really, Bruce said. It all pretty much feels identical to when I was there. Like, nothing's really changed. The only thing was kind of This time was when the voice growled at me from, off in the distance and said, like, you need to get, like, why'd you come back here? That kind of threw me off. All right, well, so I guess let's just think on it for a little bit, and we'll see. Let's just see what we come up with. But for now, you're okay. Just maybe do that tea remedy that your mom gave you, whatever, and just hopefully you can sleep at least for a little while without having that dream, and we'll see what we can figure out. All right, yeah, sounds good. So, Ruth held up her glass. So to friendship, I really appreciate you, Simon. Otherwise, without you, I feel like I would truly be alone. Simon raised his glass and clanged against her glass. You're never alone. I'm always here for you. I really appreciate it, Ruth said. They both took a sip. Here is your chicken Alfredo, ma'am. The waitress said, putting the plate down in front of Ruth. And here is your grand tour, sir. And of course, she reached behind her, reached to her side, and pulled the cheese grinder out of the little pocket on the side of her apron. And of course, you know the drill. Simon laughed. Yep, tell you when. Exactly. Started grinding the cheese. 30 seconds in, he goes ahead. All right, that's enough. Thank you, ma'am. The waitress laughed. For a minute, when you asked me about that, about what we talked about earlier, I honestly thought you were going to have me grind the cheese for like 5 minutes. Simon's like, I thought about it, but I kind of felt like that would be a dick move. And I don't really need, obviously I don't need 6 inches of cheese on top of my food, so, but, the thought crossed my mind, though. Which is like, well, I kind of appreciate you not making me do that, but, obviously if you need it, I do it, but anyway, enjoy your meals, y'all. I'll be back to check on you in a minute. Are we good on drinks here? Actually, can I get more water, please? And I'll go ahead and get another wine, Ruth said. Okay, cool. What about you, sir? Just more wine, please. I'm good on water. All right, cool. As they finished their meals and finished off their wine, they both gave each other another hug and headed off to their cars. All right, so give me a call anytime, day or night. If you need me, Simon said, pulling Ruth into a hug. Like, I'm serious. Like, do not deal with it like anything on your own. If you're waking up from the nightmare again, if you just randomly feel alone, call me, and if I can, obviously, I'll try to come over, but otherwise we could talk on the phone. But I'm here for you. All right, thank you, Simon. I really appreciate it. She said, hugging him back. The next day, Simon was scrolling through his computer, scrolling on his computer through the most recent, all the different news articles for the day, and he came across a article that at first he didn't think anything of, and he scrolled past it. Huh, wait a minute, he said as he backed up to that article again. As he read on the screen, his eyes widened. A young woman, Sarah Johnson, mysteriously disappears after visiting Forrest and then 3 hours away. Holy crap. He brought up the location of where the forest was. Oh no, you gotta be shitting me. Pulls out his phone. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Simon, what's up? Bruce said, answered the call. You're not gonna believe this. I'm just gonna have to show you. Or I'm just gonna, I have to show you, but I'll tell you about it right now, because... Simon, what is it? Just tell me, Bruce said. Well, there's do you know a Sarah Johnson? No. Should I? Bruce said. Well, no. Not necessarily, but I was kind of curious. But a young woman named Sarah Johnson, there's a news article that says that Sarah Johnson mysteriously disappeared after visiting a forest with like some of her friends, and that like her friends just never found her, and they never found any trace of her. They don't know what's. But that's not the weirdest part. You want to know what you want to know where it was? Ruth kind of sighed for a minute. I'm afraid to ask. Simon was like, "Yeah, it was that same forest that we were in. The friends, they all stayed at the same cabin. Only she just disappeared from the house and then never, or the cabin, and then never, they never saw her again. Like, man, are you serious?" Bruce said. "How long ago?" Hold on, he said as he scrolled through the article. Like, I guess it was like a month and a half ago. Like, I don't know why I didn't see the article before, but I just happened to be scrolling through and I managed to see it. But I guess I got refreshed because I guess they've been investigating it. It's just a missing persons case. Like but it's been about a month and a half. All of a sudden, there was silence on the other end. Ruth? Hello? Ruth? Oh, yeah, I'm here, Bruce said. Okay, you got really quiet, Simon said. Like, what's going on? Well, you know how I told you that it was like every couple weeks or whatever, and then I'd have a couple days, but then it got like towards like most weeks, like maybe quite a few days for like it's happening a lot more lately. Simon was like, "Yeah, what about it?" Ruth is like, "Well, that started about a month and a half ago." What? Are you really? Yeah. Are you sure? Like, is that really what the date says on when she disappeared about a month and a half ago? Hold on, let me look at the exact date. Simon said. Yeah, it was like early. It's like early June. Huh. What? Simon said. That's literally like it's like the first week of June was when everything changed and I started having those nightmares like on a regular basis, like a lot more often. That's strange. You don't think it's connected to you? Simon said. I don't think so. But we need to. Like, is there anybody? Were there family members or anybody or like that we could talk to try to figure out? Is there like we needed research to find out what's going on, like what happened to her and stuff. Well, yeah, I think it has the sheriff, his name and contact info on this article. It says for any additional information, please contact. We could talk to him and find out what's going on. Or yeah, sounds great. All right, well, if I find out anything, I'll give you a call back. All right, cool. Thanks, Simon. Yep, talk to you later. Click. A couple days later, Ruth had kind of just been hanging out, trying to relax, trying to clear her head, but at the same time, she continued to have nightmares, continued to end up back in that forest. Because of it, she was extremely exhausted. Like, just could not concentrate. Felt like her head was always on fire because of the lack of sleep. And she sat at her desk trying to write a journal entry. And as she wrote, all of a sudden everything went black. And all of a sudden she sat up and realized that she was sitting on the grass floor, sitting against a tree in the pitch black forest. Immediately, she looked around in confusion. The fuck? How the hell did I... Man, I'm so cold. She stood up. She kind of looked around, try to see off in the darkness, and started to walk around a little bit. Of course, she's confused. She has this, her mind's blank. She has no idea what's going on. And off in the distance, she hears a very low, very familiar growl. You're never gonna find her. What the fuck? All of a sudden, she's in the fetal position on the ground, head buried between her knees, sobbing, terrified, wondering where the hell she is. And then off in the distance, in a different direction. Help me. What? She said to herself, looking up off in that direction. Hello? I said you're not gonna find her. Shit! Buries her head in her knees again. Help me. She dared to raise her head up again and look off that direction. What's going on? She thought to herself, I'm so... Oh, come on, Ruth. Come on. Oh, fuck. It's so... You're not gonna help her. Leave me the fuck alone! She screamed off in the distance. Suddenly, she's tears streaming down her face. She's breathing really hard. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, her head's coming up off her desk, back in her room. The page on her journal drenched from her tears, and as she jerks up, of course, jerks awake. Ah! Mom comes bursting in the room. Honey, are you? Oh my God! I comes over and puts arm around her. Are you okay? I heard you scream. Sorry, Mom. I just fell asleep again. Let me guess. Did you have it back in the nightmare again? Unfortunately. Oh man, it's so weird. Why, Mom? She starts crying. Her mom just sighs and like pulls her to a hug and squeezes her. Of course, she's like tear coming down her cheek too, because she's thinking, I wish I knew how I could help her. Squeezes her shoulder. Ruth, honey, are you sure you don't want to talk to somebody? Like, this feels like it's getting worse. Oh, Mom, I really don't want to, but just give me a little bit more time. I'm trying to figure something out. If it doesn't get any better, I promise I'll talk to somebody. But I've been talking to Simon. Oh, good. Her mom said. How's Simon doing? He's doing good. I'm just glad I have somebody, because he's been really supportive, been really helpful. I'm really grateful for him. Well, good. I'm glad. Her mom said. All right. Well, I'll be downstairs, but just you're okay, right? Yeah, I'm fine, Mom. I'm fine. She said, wiping tears away from her face. As her mom left the room, Ruth sat there staring at the soaked page on her journal, thinking about what she was surprised, because she actually even more vividly remembered what happened in the dream. It's like, that's kind of weird. She thought, like, what was that other voice? Like, help me. And, okay, so she texts Simon. Hey, Simon, I just had another nightmare. Sends a message. What? Are you okay? The reply said. Yeah, I'm fine. But something else weird happened in the dream. I heard another voice. What? What kind of voice? What other voice? The message said. This voice actually said, like, help me. Hello. Ring, 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 ring. Hey, Simon, said answer the phone. What do you mean the voice said, like, the voice said help me? Simon said on the other end of the line. Like, sorry, I had to call because, like, it's kind of a weird text conversation. I figured I'd call you, No, it's fine, Ruth said. But yeah, like, This time I heard the growling voice that was trying to like torment me, but off in a different direction. I heard like a high pitched voice, like help me. You know, could have been a woman's voice, but I couldn't tell because it was really faint. And I think the voice said something about like you're not gonna help her or you're not gonna find her. And I did something different in this dream than I normally do. What'd you do? Simon said. I screamed back at it, basically, leave me the fuck alone. Really? Simon said. Oh man, I'm so proud of you, Ruth. You know, but let me guess, it didn't help any though. No, it didn't. You know, and I'll admit, like now it feels pretty good. You know what I actually did, but when I was doing it, I still felt basically like I was scared shitless in there. And man, but what do you think that other voice means? Well, hell if I know, Simon said. It's your dream. But I called the sheriff, you know, to try to see like what I could find out about missing, like Sarah Jones or Sarah Johnson or whatever her name was. I think it. Let's see. Yeah, like I think her name was Sarah. I think. I don't remember where the original article went. I just it went off to a new site that actually gave me the sheriff's information. But so Sarah, she has a friend that I guess the sheriff mentioned that this friend is looking for like any help at all. That he said that it's kind of a weird case. What do you mean a weird case? Bruce said. Well, like he said that she contacted him and said that she kind of has like a sixth sense. The hell does that mean? Bruce said. Well, kind of like, you know, like she could sense presences, or you know, she's into other stuff. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but basically, her friend, I guess, has been having, kind of been. The way she, man, this sounds really weird. You know, Bruce, like, will you just tell me? All right. Well, she said she kind of has been feel like she's been communicating with her in a way, but not directly. Okay, I'm confused. Bruce said, like, what exactly did she say? Well, she told the sheriff that she's been dreaming about her, but that she doesn't see her, but she hears her saying "help me," and she has like she had a location that just kind of like came to her, and she knows she needs to go there. She wants to go there and figure out, you know, like what happened. She feels like she's into like other stuff like Wiccan stuff or whatever. She feels like she told the sheriff there's actually like a chance that she can perform that'll, you know, help her get her friend back, but she has to do it from the same area that she disappeared in, but nobody's been willing to go out there to do it. You know, since she just mysteriously disappeared, nobody's gone out there to that forest again. You know, I think they were the first to go out there since whatever happened to us, but they didn't actually get her back. Well, do we have, like, did the sheriff give you this friend's number or whatever? Yeah, he did. Like, what, you want me to call her, and what do you want me to say? And you know, we're not really Wiccan or into like Wiccan stuff, but you know, I'm not. Ruth could have laughed. Well, I'm not. It's not that I'm not into Wiccan. I've just never done it. But you know, hey, you know, like I would think I'd be. Maybe, I guess, you know, I was just maybe think of something. Simon was like, what? Well, like, I guess maybe these dreams I'm having, these nightmares, maybe they're not 100% dreams. Maybe I'm literally, you know, been connected with that you know, that area, that forest all this time because of whatever happened. But now someone actually disappeared there, and now I'm even more connected. And so maybe I'm connected to her. So I don't know. Man, I'm really not wanting to mention what I'm suggesting. What is it? Simon said. Well, get in touch with this friend of hers. Maybe let's if she's looking for somebody to go back to the forest with her, maybe we should go ahead and go with her. We'll go back to that cabin and we'll see what she has in mind, what kind of ritual she wants to perform. If we can get her back, maybe getting her back will help me disconnect myself from that forest and not because I really don't want to be. Cause the only dreams I remember having this past year and a half, it's either I have no dream or I'm dreaming of that damn forest and hearing those damn voices. Yeah, that makes sense. Simon said, yeah, I'll call her. I'll give you a call a little bit later, and I'll let you know what she said. All right, sounds good. Thank you. All right, talk to you later. Click. So Ruth flipped a few of the wet pages and continued writing in her journal. As she put pen to paper, the words kind of flowed pretty quick. I went to sleep last night, and even though I tried to will myself not to dream at all, I still dreamed of that fucking forest, she wrote. I just don't understand why I can't seem to stop having these nightmares. What is it? Why is it that what connection do I have to this forest? Why am I still hearing those voices? She wrote. I just wish I could figure this all out. Thankfully, sounds like there's a lady that, and even though I know it's not something I should be thankful for, she continued writing, but a lady disappeared, and the part I am thankful for, she continued writing, is that lady that disappeared has a friend that's into some other stuff, has some and like a chant or something, and needs help trying to see if she can get her friend back. I think Simon and I are gonna actually agree to go with her to try to help her out. But ... I'll admit, I'm scared as fuck. Terrified to go back there. ... But I don't think I have a choice. Put a sad face, and then close the journal up. She tried to stand up and stretch and try to clear her mind. Went down to the kitchen, made herself a little bit of a snack, grabbed a jug of orange juice, poured herself a big glass, and stood there leaning against the counter, sipping on her orange juice. I could feel herself kind of relaxing a little bit. Letting go, trying to let go of the thoughts. Her phone went off. Ring, 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 ring. She looked at it. Immediately, all the thoughts of the forest came flooding back. She saw Simon's name appear on the screen. Oh boy, here we go, she said. Hello. What's up, Simon? Hey, so I just got in touch with Sarah's friend. Her name's Lisa, and surprisingly, well, that was really fast. Bruce said, yeah. Well, like I said, I got in touch with Lisa, and she wanted to know if we'd be up for going there, like heading back that way, because it's Friday now. She wanted to know if we'd be up for heading out there tomorrow. Tomorrow? Bruce said, that sounds really soon. Sighed, kind of went quiet. Simon's like, I know. I don't want to go back there either, but maybe if we do, and we can help her, and we could actually help her find her friend, solve this this mysterious disappearance and get Sarah back. Maybe, and of course I'm crossing my fingers here, and maybe we can separate, we can disconnect you from whatever's going on there, and that way you maybe hopefully won't have any more nightmares. Fine. All right. Bruce said. So yeah. Why don't I meet you at your house and I'll ride with you? Is Lisa riding with us too? Yeah, I suggested that we all just ride together. You know, we could all take my car. Simon said. Okay, sounds good. Bruce said. So I guess I don't want to stay overnight, but just in case, I guess we better pack an overnight bag when we go up there. Simon laughed. Yeah, probably. But if we could solve this obviously really early, then hopefully we could just solve it and leave, because I don't really want to stay there again. But I did remember though that in that cabin that we stayed in, that once we got inside there and we all stayed together, that we seemed fine. Like I don't remember us hearing anything and nothing came inside, and so I think as long as like when we're not actively trying to figure out what happened to her, as long as we're inside and we don't separate, I think we'll be okay. Simon said. All right, you're right. So all right, I'll have my stuff packed and I'll see you in the morning. Bruce said. All right, I'll pick or I'll have Lisa. You know, I'll pick you up first, and then we'll go pick Lisa up, and then we'll head out. So, but everything will be okay, Ruth. Hopefully, this will all be over soon. I hope so, Ruth said. So, the next morning, Simon rang the doorbell, and Ruth answered with her backpack on her back, all packed up. You ready to go? Simon said. Am I ready? Yes. Do I want to go? Simon goes, no, of course not. I know. So, but hopefully this is obviously, I wouldn't volunteer us to help, but I think this is all connected to why you're still having, like, maybe you've been connected to the forest all this time because, you know, that Sarah was destined to she was going to be going to that forest and disappearing, and so you stay connected, and now you're experiencing more stuff because, you know, she went missing in that forest and you're the only other one that's been connected, so now you guys are both kind of connected in a way. So man, that makes my brain hurt just thinking about that. Ruth said. Simon laughed. Yeah, all right, so let's go. We gotta go pick Lisa up and we'll head out. All right, let's go. Lisa opens the door. Hey, you guys ready to go? Yep, we're all set. Simon said. Oh, by the way, Lisa, this is my friend Ruth. Ruth, this is Lisa. Hey, nice to meet you. They both said as they shook hands. All right, let's go. We could talk in the car on the way there. I know it's a couple hour drive to get to that forest to get to the cabin. Do you have everything you need? Lisa looked at her bag. Yep, I've got some herbs, and I've got water bottle. Got my overnight bag in case we obviously stay the night, and I got some other Wiccan ingredients that you guys wouldn't understand, but and Ruth and Simon kind of looked at each other and looked back at her and like, yeah, okay, so as long as you got everything, let's go. So they got in the car and they drove up to the couple hours to the cabin. As they got in there, they pulled up to the cabin, they got out, and they walked up to the door, and Ruth stopped and looked back at the forest. Simon, a little ways ahead of her, had stopped and looked back at her. Are you okay? Yeah. I mean, it's daytime. That's probably why I don't feel too bad right now. Simon's like, yeah, I agree. I'm not really looking forward to when it gets dark, but hopefully we'll see what we can do. I mean, I know getting her back is probably a long shot, but Sarah said, or Lisa said that she thinks that she might know what happened, but she would explain a little bit to us, that she said she has a way that she thinks would actually be able to get her back. all right, let's go. So they all go inside and put their stuff inside, and Lisa's like, all right, guys. So I mean, I don't feel like it's unsafe to be outside. Maybe it's because of daylight, but right now I'm not really feeling any sinister presences or any malevolence anywhere around this property. So I think we're safe. Obviously, like after dark, it might be a different story. But right now, why don't we go outside? It's basically just a couple of different rituals I could perform, and basically we can see what happens. All right, let's go. Simon said, "You okay, Ruth?" Yep, let's go. So they go out. Lisa forms a little bit of a circle, and all right, well, I think we all need to let's all sit around the circle. Let's join hands. Let's close our eyes. And Lisa starts chanting quietly to herself, quiet enough that Simon and Ruth couldn't actually hear what she was saying. For a few minutes while she was chanting, Ruth and Simon would open one eye and kind of look at each other and then look back at Lisa and then close her eye again. Lisa looked over at him. Guys, we need to focus. I know you guys might not believe in this, but we got, trust me. Like I have a plan. Okay, they said to close their eyes, and as she continued chanting, all of a sudden, Ruth, from a seated position, fell backwards and allowed like a very deep but very loud growl came from her own voice. What are you doing? Both Lisa and Simon both still had a hold of one. Each of them had a hold of one of Ruth's hands, and both of them didn't let go. And so Ruth was partially laying backwards, her back arched, but not laying on the ground because of them holding her up by her hands. Oh my God, what the fuck? Simon said, looking over at Lisa. Well, I did not expect that, Lisa said. Okay, hold on. Like, Ruth, are you still in there? What do you guys think you're doing? That voice came out of Ruth's mouth. Who am I talking? May I ask, who are we talking to? Lisa yelled. I will not tell you. All of a sudden, Ruth's voice changed. Help me! Holy crap! That's Sarah's voice. Lisa said. Sarah, where are you? I'm here. I don't know where here is. Help me! Sarah! No, you will not get her. Again, Ruth's voice changed. All right, that's enough. Lisa screamed as she started chanting something else, and all of a sudden, Ruth, she almost sat up and opened her eyes and looked over at them, and both Simon and Lisa were just looking at her with a very perplexed, very shocked expression, with both their mouths hanging open. Ruth was kind of confused. She looking at him like, what? What are you guys looking at me like that for? Simon said, looking over at Lisa, then looking back at Ruth. You don't remember what just happened? Ruth said. We just sat down and closed our eyes, and you were chanting, and then I was sitting here looking at you guys. You guys are looking at me like that. Like, what's going on? Lisa was like, you really don't remember what you did? As it's been like 5 or 10 minutes. Like you literally just talked to us in 2 different voices. What? Ruth said, looking at him. I did not. Simon's like, yeah, hun, you did. Like, you don't remember that at all? Ruth's like, no. Like, what did I say? Simon and Lisa looked at each other. They looked back like, oh, I really don't want to freak you out. Ruth's like, oh, fuck. What did I do? Like, what was it? Lisa goes, well, you first talked in a very deep, very best way I could describe it, menacing voice. You know, me just describing that, does that sound like something familiar to you? And Ruth sides like, yeah, I'm familiar with that voice. It's the voice I hear anytime I wake up in the forest in my dream. All right, Lisa said, and the other voice was like a kind of a higher pitch, It sounded like and she mimicked Sarah's voice. It basically said, "Help me." Ruth goes, "Oh my god, that's exactly what I heard when the last time I was in there in my dream." Do we know who that is? Like, is that Sarah? And Lisa goes, yeah. Like, as soon as you said it in that voice, I was literally like, holy crap, that's freaking Sarah. Someone's like, yeah, she did. Like, that's All right, what do you think that means? Why am I speaking in both those voices? Ruth said. Well, because like I said, like, you're connected to the forest, just like, because she's lost in there somewhere, and so I think I know what to do. Like, I think whatever the entity is that's the dark, sinister, voice that we heard, I think they're keeping Sarah there because you got away. So they're keeping Sarah here. So I kind of wondered, when I talked to you guys initially, I kind of wondered if that might be the case. So she pulled out a book out of her bag. So I have a spell here that we all need to kind of like stand up and hold hands, and as we're saying this, we all need to say this chant together as we're slowly walking in a circle around this circle that we've drawn. And Ruth, like, you're gonna actually like disappear on us again. Like, you're still gonna be here, but all of a sudden mentally you're gonna be in the forest, like, and you're gonna see the forest again, and you should actually see Sarah. And what I need you to do is I need you to call to her, and then I need you to grab her when you get close to her, grab her and pull her back to us. Because I think she's at this forest. The reason why we're here, and why there's these voices that you heard in the forest, especially this really dark, sinister one that seems to be the dominant one. I think that one is basically like I think there's like it's like another, not really a realm, but kind of another dimension that's kind of merged a little bit with our reality for some reason in this forest, and that's why this forest seems haunted, even though it's probably not any spirits actually in this forest. But they're still here regardless, But that presence is keeping Sarah trapped there and trying to scare us away. And so I need you to grab her, and I need you to tell me when you have her. And I'm gonna say another chant, and then it should pull both of you back here. Should? Simon said as he looked over at Lisa. Okay, it's like, yeah, it should. 99.9% certain that it should. It still worries me a little bit, Simon said. Like, not 100%. Like, I don't really want anything to happen to Ruth. I mean, I definitely don't. I want to get Sarah back, but I don't want anything to happen to Ruth. Ruth looked over at Simon. Simon, I'm not really happy about it either. But what choice do we have? Fine, Simon said. All right, so Lisa got her stuff together, and all right, so let's each grab hands, she said, looking over at Simon and Ruth. All right, so I'm gonna start, and she put the mixture of the water, the herbs, and everything that she mixed together. She put that in the middle of the circle. She lit a sage stick, waving the smoke around all around the area they were standing. She took their hands and she started to chant. She's like, all right, we all need to say, and she laid out the chant for them. We all need to say this chant as we're, circling around, and we need to we need to say it with feeling. We need to, we gotta believe it. We gotta believe that we're gonna get her back. Otherwise, this won't work. All right. Simon said, so let's do it. So they started chanting, started circling around, and all of a sudden, Ruth's head fell backwards. They continued to hold each other's hands, and they continued to slowly circle around the circle that they had drawn. All of a sudden, Ruth sat up and realized that she was, again, in the pitch dark forest, sitting on the grass, leaning against a tree. But only this time, she could hear her own voice, as well as Simon's voice, and Lisa's voice, chanting what they were chanting before she ended up in. First thought in her mind is, how am I hearing my own voice in here? Because at first she was a little disoriented, a little confused, and then she remembered, oh, right, okay. Sarah! 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 Start hollering off in the distance. Sarah! Help me! You're never gonna get her. Fuck you! Ruth said, looking off towards where the voice came from. Sarah, come here! Sarah, come to my voice! Okay. Where you at? Where are you? Sarah, I'm over here. Keep coming to me. No. Fucking leave us alone! Ruth said, screaming off in that direction again. Sarah, hurry up! I'm coming! All of a sudden, Ruth made out a shape appearing in the distance. Sarah, is that you? Yeah, that's me. Where are you at? Over here. Okay. Sarah made it to her. Here, grab my hand, Ruth said. She pulled her into a hug. Then she thought, how do I let Simon and Lisa know that I got her? So she thought really hard, and even though she said it out loud, she thought it as well. She didn't know how she was going to communicate with him. Simon! Lisa! I got her! As they continued chanting and circling around the circle they had drawn, both Simon and Lisa all of a sudden, their eyes popped up and they looked at each other. She's fucking got her, I think, Simon said. I think so too, Lisa said. Alright. Now chant, now, Ruth is going to keep chanting this because she's in there, but Simon, I need you and I, we're going to say this chant now. They told them another verse to start chanting out loud. And they both thought, okay, both of them thought together, okay, Ruth, you need to hold on to her. Hold her tight, don't let her go. In the dark, Ruth could hear a voice in her head, and it sounded like Simon. Okay, Ruth, hold on to her, don't let her go. She thought to herself, that's really weird, but okay, but this is all really strange. But and she said to Sarah, "Are you okay? Sarah's like, I'm fucking terrified. I've been stuck. I don't know how long I've been here. Okay, it's fine. I don't don't let go of me. Hold on to me, okay? All right, Sarah said. Simon and Lisa kept chanting and circling around the circle that they had drawn, still holding on to Ruth's hands. And all of a sudden there was a bright flash, and they looked over, and Ruth was laying on her back on the ground, and Sarah was laying on top of her. Both of them panting and trying to catch their breath. "Oh my God, Sarah," Lisa said. She pulled her up. "Oh my God, Lisa, oh my God. Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you, oh my God. Oh, Sarah, oh my God, I'm so happy to have you back. Are you okay?" "Oh, no. Sarah, it's okay. And she hugged her tightly. Like, just take a deep breath, You're safe, we got you." Okay. "Who are you guys?" She said, looking over at Ruth and Simon. "Oh, these are a couple of friends," Lisa said. Like Ruth, this is Ruth, and this is Simon. They came here about a year and a half ago, and Ruth actually disappeared here, but she somehow managed to get out. She's been having nightmares and been connected with this place the whole time, and it only got worse when you disappeared. But now, that told me that I think she and you were both connected to this forest, and hopefully now that we've got you back, hopefully she won't be connected to it anymore. Simon's like, here, sit down. You know, took Sarah over to a chair and sat her down, and hey, like, it's fine, it's gonna be okay. Like, you're safe now. You're safe. Sarah was just sitting there crying. "Oh God, oh man, thank you so much. Thank you." Ruth came over and put a hand on her shoulder. You're welcome, and I'm so glad we could help. Sarah's like, "You've not been missing for a month and a half?" "Yeah," Simon said. "I guess, man, they're gonna freak out when we get you back home." So, all right, guys, like, it's still, thankfully, it's. Lisa looked around, like, guys, it's actually still daylight out, and I know we brought overnight bags, but I'm not thinking that any of us want to stay here, especially with whatever that entity that's in there that spoke through you, Ruth. Ruth looked over at her like, "Are we sure that that finding Sarah disconnected me, or whatever the right word is, from this place? Because I really don't want to be continuing to have nightmares." "Well, I don't have anything here that could help with to disconnect or sever the connection if you are connected. But if we get back and you're still having nightmares, I have a couple other things that we could try that should be able to sever the connection and basically, like, give you peace, give you get rid of this place, get rid of whatever that evil entity that's in there. So let's I think since it's daylight, why don't we pack up and let's get out of here, guys." "Yeah, I think Lisa's right, Bruce. I think we should go. I don't really want to sleep here tonight. And I don't think Sarah wants to be here anymore either." Sarah chuckled a little bit while also crying at the same time, tears still streaming down her face. "Yeah, you're right. I don't want to be here. I don't like I'd say you guys have no idea how terrifying it is in there, but you were in there, right, Ruth?" "Oh yeah, I was in there. Whatever that, did you hear me scream at it in there?" Sarah was like, "Yeah, I thought I heard something, but we were pretty far away when I first heard you. But man, that was really ballsy. I couldn't believe you screamed at it like that." Ruth is like, I was pissed because, it was kind of the pissed off, terrified, because I just had enough, and I wanted to get you out of there, and I want to be the connection severed, and I want to be away from this place and never dream of it again or whatever. So, all right, Simon, Lisa, let's go. They packed their stuff, they got in the car, and they took off. So over the next couple weeks, they met up, all four of them, at that their Simon and Bruce's favorite Italian place to eat and try to just talk. And Lisa was always like, so Ruth, are you having like how are you? Are you having any are you still having nightmares? Ruth is like, surprisingly, like I haven't had one since we came back with Sarah. Like I've actually been having actually good dreams. Like before, I wasn't having a dream, or I was dreaming and ending up in that forest. But I haven't had any of those dreams since. Ruth looked over at Sarah. What about you? How are you doing? How are you holding up? Sarah had already, in like 2 minutes, had already finished her glass of wine and looked over as the waitress came walking up. Ma'am, can I get another glass, please? Simon, Ruth, and Lisa all looked at each other, looked back at her like, so clearly that's a no. Like like clearly you're not okay. And Sarah's like, no, I'm fine. It's just, I'm still. It's only been a couple weeks, and I'm still, I'm still kind of getting over it. So. Well, are you having any Are you dreaming of the forest at all? Or Sarah's like, no. I mean, I had a nightmare or two when we first came here, but um, thankfully they seem to have gone away. At first I felt like we were connected, then I kind of felt like the connection, disappeared or whatever. So I think it's just time. I just need time, because I was gone for a month and a half, and I felt like I was in that forest for years, in the pitch black darkness, dealing with whatever that entity was. So I just was really glad to be back. All right, cool. They all said, well, so let's all meet. Well, I'm glad that everybody's doing well, and let's meet up here. Let's not. So Sarah, Lisa, don't be strangers. Let's get together every so often. The four of us, come out here for dinner or whatever, and let's because honestly, I feel like we're all friends now because of all this experience that we've kind of gone through. Lisa was like, yeah, I think so too. Like, I really appreciate you guys being willing to help me out, because for the month and a half that she was gone, I tried talking to the sheriff, I tried talking to other people and stuff, and everybody just thought I was nuts, that she was just gone, that there's no way to get her back, that there's no such thing as the Wiccan chance or whatever that I used during what we did. But I'm just really thankful that you guys actually gave it a chance or whatever. Ruth kind of looked over and laughed, like, well, honestly, I kind of felt like that we didn't really have a choice, because obviously me and Sarah are both connected somehow because of my nightmares happening more often, whenever she disappeared. And so I'm just glad that we were able to get her back. Sarah's like, I really appreciate it too. I'm really grateful to you guys for helping Lisa out. So thank you so much. She reached over and touched both her hands. No problem, All right, guys. So are we ready to order? Yep. So they all ordered their meals, had another glass or two of wine, said their goodbyes, and headed off their separate ways. Over the next couple months, they met up, hanging out, and bit by bit, not only did Ruth really have a lot less, a lot less terror and any kind of resemblance of any kind of connection to that forest or to that sinister entity. In fact, she had pretty much all pleasant dreams and had made a full recovery and was no longer waking up screaming in the middle of the night. And Sarah had also fully recovered, was no longer feeling like she needed to have several glasses of wine, and was actually back to being happy and feeling safe. Over the next several years, they all remained friends, where they had been bonded in a very unique way through this very terrifying situation. But they all remain good friends, being there for one another, and they all lived happily ever after. The end. Welcome back, guys. Well, like with most my freestyle stories, where I'm trying to come up with it on the fly, literally each time before I've done it, this past couple stories, literally as I'm planning to do it, because I'm like, all right, I need to get a story recorded. I'm thinking to myself, like, all right, what do I, because I'm trying to practice, quote, my storytelling skills. But I'm also thinking, I have no idea what to tell a story about. Because, yeah, it happens whenever I would be writing them out as well. But, like, it's just as hard when I'm trying to freestyle it, because, just hit record and start telling a story. But when I would write it, I would literally sit there and I would stare at my computer with the little curtain. I'm sure a lot of you can probably relate as far as like when you're trying to write something, like come up with something, and you're watching your computer screen and the little cursor's flashing, and you're thinking to yourself like, all right, how do I begin this? Well, that's kind of what happened here. That happens to me on the freestyle stories. Where I have to think like, I might do it. Like when I'm on a couple-hour trip out to do the initial swap, or in this case, going to Knoxville and doing the drop and then getting loaded and coming back. So the entire way to Knoxville, and I'm like thinking to myself, all right, like what do I want the story to be about, and like how do I want to do this? And I run through a bunch of different ideas, random thoughts in my head, like, all right, I could have this character, this named character, I can have that named character. They could be doing this, they could be doing that, and this could happen, or maybe this could happen. And I know technically, I could probably try to make it easier on myself. Maybe instead, not necessarily write out the story beforehand, but maybe on my days off when I'm planning for the next week, maybe I can like write just a couple of ideas, like just some basic points, not the story, but some basic points like. They're gonna start here, maybe this is gonna happen later on in the story, and they're gonna end up here, and maybe it's gonna resolve like this. So that way, maybe have a beginning, a middle, and an end, like some, an idea. So that way, then when I'm making it up on the fly, I can actually just fill in the gaps, so to speak. But I don't know if I'm gonna do that, because usually when I'm off, I'm usually focusing more on either. Even though it's only 1 to 2 hours for the business, but I might be focusing on that, or spending time with the fam, so I don't know, so I think it's working out so far as the recent Storytime Friday stories. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I look forward to listening to it myself, because I was like, anytime I come up with a story on the fly, I always think to myself during the story, like, I hope it sounds good. But then I come to the end, and basically it's the same with when I'm writing it. Like, I will basically get to a certain point in the story where I'm writing it, and it's just going on, and I'm thinking to myself, I really have to close this. Like, I have to bring the story to a close. I have to figure out how I can tie it all up. And so I end up basically, eventually as the story progresses, then in my mind, as it's progressing, I get to a point where all of a sudden I'm able to start tying certain parts up and wrapping things up and actually bringing it to a close and actually having some closure in the story, having that beginning, the middle, and the end, So, but hey, I'm having fun with it. I hope you guys are enjoying it too, because it's definitely the past 2 months or something, 2-ish months that I've been doing this, the Storytime Fridays, it's definitely an experience. It's definitely a challenge for me, because like, it'd be very easy not to do it, but at the same time, I'm continuing to work on this podcast, love for it to continue growing, because we have grown. We have like literally as soon as episodes post, all of a sudden, like within a couple hours, I'm noticing there's 5 or 6 downloads, which tells me I do have a handful of active subscribers that are getting alerted when my episodes post, so I really appreciate you guys. So on that note, hope everybody enjoyed it. If you want to support the show, that easiest way, obviously, like I always said, is to like and follow, tell your friends, that way the podcast can continue growing. You get more listeners and all that fun stuff. If you want to, anybody that wants to do any kind of financial support to the show, go to blodgettshow.com/support. There's an option for a one-time contribution, basically anywhere down as low as $1. Anything helps. Basically, obviously, there's a cost to have a podcast hosted and all that fun stuff. And as it continues to grow, get more downloads and whatnot, that cost obviously will go up because of, when you're hosting, you can only have like a certain number of downloads per month. I gotta look because I've been at it for I think close to a year now, and I don't remember what my current plan allows. If it's like, I think it might be something small, like a couple hundred, downloads per month or something. I have to look to kind of remind myself, but basically as it grows and there's more people listening and whatnot, then I'll obviously have to upgrade that to accommodate for it and stuff. But hey, progress, So, but anybody that wants to do a monthly contribution to support the show, again, blodgettshow.com/support. You can do a monthly contribution for as little as $1 per month. And as always, thank you so much in advance. I really appreciate it. If anybody wants to check out the Legacy Builder program, the business I've been working on the side, on top, that's why I call it the triple grind. Because I do the trucking grind, I do the podcast, and then I'm doing this business side. That's kind of like it's not just like a business. It teaches people how to, if you don't have a following, if you don't have any friends or followers or whatever on any of your platforms, don't have a YouTube account, TikTok, Twitter, whatever. This program actually teaches beginners, like people who have no experience, how to actually grow their following, be able to start making money through social media, as well as how to start earning money online, even if you've never earned money online before. The lowest program is basically $100, one time, and the highest one is $900 program. It's called the Legacy Builder. With that one, you get all 4 programs and stuff. But check it out to see the free information. It doesn't cost anything to check it out. Basically, go to blodgettshow.com/freedom. Put your email in there, and basically just you'll get because it's all automated. So basically, you'll get an automatic email from me, and you can reply back to the email with any questions you have, or just follow the automation, and it'll direct you to like 1 or 2 videos are like 5 minutes long. Kind of gives you a rundown about the Legacy Builder program. There's people that have actually, because it's a step-by-step program, you just follow the step-by-step video training, the live mentoring. There's a community that you're a part of that you get access to once you join. The only other cost on top of the one-time program cost of the $100, $300, $600, or $900 is a $29 fee just for the website. But basically, it's step-by-step. They walk you through how to set everything up, they train you how to actually start going about, marketing your business for digital marketing stuff. So it's pretty awesome. Literally 1 to 2 hours a day versus like most businesses that I've come across that, you get people messaging you in your inbox, basically begging you to buy their product or whatever, and then they're getting like 10% of the profit or 10% commission off the sale. And with Legacy Builder, you're getting 100%. So you sell a $100 program, you're making $100. You sell $900, you're making $900. So blodgettshow.com/freedom to check it out. But other than that, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Storytime Friday story, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday on the next Real Talk Tuesday, which I believe will be episode 90. I believe. Watch me wrong when I go to edit this like crap. But anyway, keep being positive, keep believing, keep pushing forward. Believe you can, believe you will. And we're already halfway there, and then you just have to go out there and do it. But on that note, guys, I will talk to you guys on Tuesday for the next Real Talk Tuesday. Have a good one.